Lawrence Okolie. Great performance against Glowacki. And new champion Lawrence Okolie. What's next for him? What's next? Let's talk about that fight with Lawrence Okolie and Glowacki and what Lawrence showed us in that fight, where he stands at it in the Cruiserweight division, and what's next. What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Alright, check it out. Lawrence Okolie dominates Glowacki in a very impressive win, in my opinion, to become champion. And what's next for the man? But first, let's talk about this fight with Glowacki. And look, I don't know much, and I never really professed to, but I don't know much about some of these trainers. And it's McGuigen that Okolie's with now. Look, I can only give him praise. I don't know much about the guy, but I see vast improvements in Okolie. See, I was always interested in this kid's size and height. You know, that 6 foot, he's like 6'5", and that crazy reach that he has. I was always interested in that, and you know, watching him progress. And you hear a lot of complaints about Okolie. The Matty Askin fight, where you know he was little dirty tactics. My guy Fury employs some of those dirty tactics, but being so long over your opponent, you know you're gonna get that. And I mean, to be honest, he was doing some things that were dirty in there, Okolie. But just the hugging, the hug fest, and so you heard a lot of those assumptions coming into this fight. But I didn't think so. I told a couple of guys, I said, no, I think Lawrence Okolie is going to put this guy away. What I was impressed with is how early he got the job done. He basically kept Glowacki where he wanted him to be. He utilized his jab well. You know, sometimes you get these guys, all different fighters in there. They hold their hand, the predominant hand that they jab with, depending on which stance they take. But you'll see guys do it in the orthodox or southpaw stance. They'll hold that lead hand, that jab hand. Either they'll hold it down, they'll hold it up here, you know, in the high guard, or they'll hold it, you know, right up there under their chin. And it's so that it's a feeler for them, right? It's their rangefinder, so to speak. And it looks dangerous, but Okolie used it beautifully to keep Glowacki where he wanted to keep him. You know, Glowacki didn't even see that hook coming at the end. Okolie masked it from him. He didn't even see it. So it was a beautiful display. Okolie would hit. He was showing lateral movement, the ability to spin out, you know, and all of the hugging and slugfest that people thought that he would, you know, bring forth. He didn't really get that. And you talk about Briedis, and I even said it myself prior to the fight. I don't know about Briedis, but Okolie with that 6'5" frame, I think that why not? He could challenge Briedis. Now, I hold Briedis to high regard. Don't get me wrong. He's a beast, absolute beast, and I think that he was the best since Usyk left, and I think he's proven that. However, Lawrence Okolie is to be respected. The way he fought, the way he dominated. Look, Glowacki was no walk in the park fight, you know. So the way that Lawrence Okolie utilized his jab, right? He just basically, he had Glowacki where he wanted him. He would circle around him, you know, keep him at range. He was delivering good shots to the body on him, working behind that jab. Just beautiful boxing, footwork improvements I've seen. This guy McGuigen's doing a terrific job with Okolie, and I think that Dorticos, Briedis, I think that he's ready. This guy's ready. He could actually be the guy to take over the Cruiserweight division. run the table. I think that the two guys that's dangerous there to, if any, have a chance to stop him would, of course, be Maris Briedis, because I think he's probably should be considered the best guy there, at least in my opinion. And then Dorticos as well. But for no means, after what Lawrence Okolie showed me against Glowacki, you know, by no means do I think that he couldn't beat either of those guys. I believe he could beat either of them. And so it'd be interesting to see if he moves forward. Hell, unify, man. Go ahead and unify. Let's do it. Let's get it. I don't think it's too early. You know, when a guy's a champion, there's no more too early. You take the pacifier, pop the titty out the mouth, and let him get in that ring with one of these great champions, one of these elite fighters. Let him use that 6'5" frame. We know that he can use the jab now. We know that he has power. We know that he can take a shot. We know that he has footwork. I think that Lawrence Okolie is the complete package, man. Of course, there's improvements to make, but I'm seeing those improvements fight after fight. You guys didn't get a hug fest this time. He controlled the range. He did everything that he was supposed to do in that fight. He ended the fight beautifully. Master punch that ended the fight. You can't get any better than that. His opponent didn't even see that punch coming. What happens? What do they always say? What's the old adage? It's the ones you don't see coming. Well, he didn't see that coming. And pow, put him out of there. So shout out to Lawrence Okolie. Let me tell you something. These UK fighters, man. These UK fighters are doing it. They're doing it. They had some upsets here, but look at these American fighters. That's another story. I'm not even gonna go into that. But shout out to Lawrence Okolie, man. And I think that he has a chance to unify with anybody that he'd like to. He has a chance to clean out the division, as well as Briedis. I'm really big on Maris Briedis. But I think Okolie is there. He's a problem. And, you know, his awkwardness, he's turned into skill. This kid was really awkward early, and this is why I knew that he would beat Glowacki, because of how awkward he was, but he was powerful. See, he's strong. Okolie is physically stronger than a lot of people believe he is, and Glowacki found out last night. But because of how awkward he is, and now Shane McGuigen is actually working that awkwardness into a skill, and it's going to be hard to beat. How he comes from the outside with that right, man, and then he pops that jab up from low, boom, and his arms are so long. He's going to be difficult for Dorticos, for Maris Briedis. It's going to be difficult for any of those guys to beat. This is why, I'm not saying that Okolie's a better boxer than Maris Briedis, because I think that Maris Briedis is the best boxer at the Cruiserweight division. However, he has the height, the reach, and he knows how to use it, the power, the movement, because he showed us, you know, how he would throw a combination on Glowacki, then he would spin to the outside, hit him again, step back, circle around him, and then start popping the jab. I was like, bro, that's beautiful work by Okolie. So let's give this guy his respect. I think that what's next for him could be anything that he chooses. If Briedis is a warrior, so I'm pretty sure he'll answer the call, Dorticos. I think anything that Lawrence Okolie chooses to do at this point, let's go. Let's go with it. And shout out, much respect to Lawrence Okolie and his team. Great win. And y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.